If you happen to be in human village and stay long enough, you might catch a psycho floating blob of darkness. Some still wonder what lies inside the blob whilst many simply disregarded. Though there are quite a few who wear it. Why? I was getting around to that. There have been several incidents where a child, teenager or anyone in general would accidentally or purposely venture out for a nightly stroll, out of sheer curiosity or to merely cause trouble after the sun had long gone down. This blob will greet them midway to their destination, through their stroll, etc., and lead them off in a complete different direction instead. Where were they sent to? Why, none other than the Forest of Dead. The blob will eventually reveal itself to be the human-eating yokai of darkness, Rumia. Charming her unsuspecting victim with her innocent demeanor and cuteness, she will slowly but surely lure them to their demise. Let's play, she will say, and then take off into the darkness of the forest not long after. As she led them deeper into the dark and eerie forest, a faint, musky scent could be picked up from deep within the forest if one's sense of smell was decent enough. Rumia's innocent act will slowly disappear, and then will be replaced by a smirk full of malice. Not only did her personality change, so did she. She will then go seek out her victim and lead them to a clearing in the forest where the moon shines brightly and in plain view. Concealing the remains of her past victims, but failing to be rid of their scent, some of her more recent mangled and decaying corpses gave off. "It's this way," she will say in her childish voice, despite now being in her X-form. Eventually reaching the clearing, the now silent yokai will allow her victim to enter before she did, a devious plan forming in her mind all the while. Not knowing where the little blonde-haired girl went, the victim looked around the area, becoming slightly worried that she had abandoned them. Just then, the full area became darker than it already was, making the moon appear to be duller than it truly was. "Looking for someone?" came a dark and sinister voice. The voice seems to be close by, but it was too dark for them to actually see anything. Attempting to find a way out, the voice laughed darkly and asked in a somewhat mocking tone, "Leaving so soon, are we?" There was a short pause. "Shame, and I was just starting to have fun," the voice added, feigning disappointment as this was said. The yokai observed the victim's reaction to all of this. "You humans amuse me," she mused. "It's a shame that you have to die so soon." She smirked as the victim froze, obviously fearing for their own life as this unknown voice continued to taunt and prolong their impending doom that would soon befall them. The yokai of darkness silently drew closer to the victim, smirking as the victim questioned where she was. Everything was silent for a short period of time. "Look behind you." By doing so, they were greeted by a pair of demonic-looking eyes. The only thing that could be heard was the scream of pure agony as the victim was slowly eaten alive and devoured by the human-eating yokai, never to be heard from or seen again. Sometimes, if you happen to be passing by the area, you can occasionally hear screams from within the forest. Not many have dared to go out at night since. Perhaps you will be brave enough to go outside during the night and venture into that forest.
I have come. Marasmus the wizard has come for your stones.
Wait, what? Fuck you!
So you've heard of Rumia, right? Well, this is a truly big shock to all of you. But she is actually very evil. This is a true story of a man who went to forest and met her. This man's name is Soldier from Team Fortress 2. He was a very special kind of man, because he was on a search for a bucket. When he heard that everyone should avoid the forest at night, he thought to himself, "Maybe someone has a bucket at night and tries to hide that fact." So he went to the forest at night. At the forest he saw some spooky stuff like books and Fortnite dancing Thanos. When he arrived to an open field, he saw a blonde little girl. So there asked the little girl has he saw any buckets. The little girl pulled a bucket behind her back and said, "If you follow me to the woods, I will give this bucket to you." Without hesitation, Soldier followed her. They got to a dark cave and Soldier was like, "Now give my bucket." Then suddenly, the little girl turned into a big, titted anime girl. Soldier chuckled and said, "I am in danger." Rumia then pulled out a 4 t-shirt and said, "I feel fucking for you." Soldier gasped as the room went dark and started thinking about his life. But then he remembered what would Abraham do in this situation.
Remember the screaming eagle.
Then Soldier just pulled the most sick pose ever seen to a mankind. Then at this point Kasen came to the scene and saw the magnificent American pose. This is the origin story why she has eagle in those fighting games. Then Soldier pulled out the golden pan and beat the shit out of Rumia. Soldier then picked up the bucket which was full of forbidden images. It was full of Rumia eating eagles. Soldier felt grief that majestic birds got eaten by this monster and returned back home. After that day, Rumia was only seen as a child, and to this day, Rumia refuses to turn into a war whore because of the traumatic experience.
My eyes have been opened. Let me help you to see. Your honor and duty are nothing.
Local village has been terrorized by a spooky yokai lately. A warrior from different land came to help the village to stop the nasty yokai. It was no other than Doomslayer from the video game Doom. The villagers thought it was some kind blonde bitch who kept eating their local rabbits and drew penises on the wall with their blood. Doomslayer was furious because nobody eats the precious little bunnies. He wandered to the forest at night, thinking when he meets the bitch he will rip her a new asshole. He wandered for a long time in the forest before stopping at a cabin. When he kicked the door open, there were demons playing poker and there was heard nothing but screams of pain. Doomguy continued his search for the blonde bitch. He met along the way scariest monster of them all, Purple Pile of Shit, aka Croak. She found the Doomguy's sweet fluids. He wasn't having none of it and pointed shotgun towards her face and told the Croak to go fuck herself. Croak broke out crying and ran away. While trying to find the woman, he met all kinds of spooks, such as big gods, furries, K-pop Twitter, the inevitable end of all things and the void following it, and the Archvile. When he arrived at Fear 3, a little girl appeared behind it. Doomguy knew it was the bitch he was looking for. The girl tried to act innocent before Doomguy grabbed her in the throat. But all of a sudden it became dark and in front of Doomguy was a war whore. She was about to consume Doomguy when he took out the big fucking gun. She knew she wasn't this time the horror, it was the Doomslayer. There was nothing but green flash and what followed was screaming and then silence. Doomguy exited the forest and saw a bunch of yokai rabbits near and went to grab ice cream with them. Doomguy completed his mission and returned back to his Doom base to play a copy of Doom. After getting blown up by BFG and getting ripped a new asshole, Rumia didn't walk for 2 months and has a severe PTSD when she sees a rabbit.
No! No! No!